the actual the as happens, the post interview, which is what I did, the live stuff was just we were talking about what can we do with the technology to help promote the business. I'm like, well, you should do a live thing, and how do we do that? And I just like phone, cable,
Mhm.
that's press the button, that's it, we're live now. And okay, right,
Mhm.
and just talking about where your life creates content, and it's a I don't think we need to, what helped me a lot was not thinking about creating, but just thinking about documenting. Because documenting is just understanding thought processes. What is a great piece of literature? It's just really a thought process.
Mhm.
It's a writer's thought process. Stephen King's novels are a thought process. Paul Keola's novels are a thought process. They're just a thought process. And they're just documenting their own thought process, but it comes out in the form of a novel that is interesting for people to read. And we were talking about making things interesting with content. And we were talking about boring people. And somebody said, well, sometimes people are boring. And I said, yes, but they're not boring to them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And just that understanding, just that perspective, makes a person realize that they don't know everything, right? Oh, that person's really boring. Well, they're boring for you, but that person lives a life, they do a job, they've got interests, they, they might be married, have a partner, have kids.
Uh-huh.
They're not boring to themselves. They're just doing their own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the positive way to look at it.
And, and what was the point about the boring people?
Oh, we were talking about the business and creating marketing and advertising for the business, and I said, well, just record a live video, 5 or 10 minutes a day,
Mm-hmm.
from your office. Just talk about what you did and what you're going to do, and
Mm-hmm.
what you did shows people that you're working,
Mm-hmm.
and the people who will tell you not to do stuff are a lot of the time, not all the time, a lot of the time, the people who don't want you to do something because that gives you an advantage over them,
Uh-huh.
right? So people will say, no, no, don't do that, don't
I
do
think
that.
that
It's
don't
okay.
do this, don't do that.
This is what I explained to the company, right? If you make a 5-minute video every day you're at work, and you say on that video, this is what I did today, this is who I talked to, and this is what I'm going to do next. Um, you create a level of accountability for yourself. You also, over a year, create 200 videos that you put online. So when someone
And
searches, someone searches for
there's something weird. Yeah.
someone searches for information about your area of business. So yesterday it was estate agent. Somebody searches for an estate agent in Inverness, and you tag each video, estate agent Inverness, blah blah blah, property, sell your house, blah blah blah, and your 200 videos have a higher probability of reaching people or people finding them and learning something about your business than a person who does nothing. So,
Uh-huh.
and it doesn't even have to be long form content now, because 10, 10 videos that are 1 minute long will reach more people than one video which is 10 minutes long. And
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
well, the most
Right.
important thing in that area is to give people an opportunity to say no to you.
Mm-hmm.
Give people an opportunity to reject you because maybe they won't.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are worried about rejection. No, rejection is opportunity. if you give people the opportunity, let's take a crazy example. Say you meet somebody that person works for a company, might be the CEO, might be somebody else. You say to the person, hey, I've got these skills, I'm looking for this kind of job. Can I have a job with you? What's the worst they can say? No.
Mhm.
They could say yes. They're like, why do you want to work? They could say like, why do you want to work for me? Well, I got blah, 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 blah. Give me a job. Let me start tomorrow. What's the worst they can say? No. And then nothing, and what happens? Nothing changes, right? And don't do it in an arrogant way. Right? You just do it in an open way and just say, well, I just thought I'd ask, right? Because I want to see what's possible. I don't want to, I don't want to. Don't do it in an unfair way. Don't ask for a job that you don't have the skills to do. Don't. You're not
And
gonna.
start tomorrow. Mhm.
Yeah, this is. Don't say like, hey, I want to play for your professional basketball team or something like that.
Or I must sue for a better deal. Like I want to start tomorrow. I haven't learned this, but I will work for free for. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
Just make
Well, look at it this way. Everybody works for free. Look at it this way. Okay. Everybody works for free. We're just compensated in different ways. Right?
Mhm.
Right. So, in what I mean by that is don't make the money the focus, because don't get me wrong, money is important, but it's going to mess us up if we chase money rather than happiness. So, and in the same time, money becomes an expectation, like an entitlement. I did this work, so I'm entitled to this much money. And to be honest, there's nothing that says that anything is too much or too little.
Mhm.
So, I've heard it said a number of times by certain people. Always ask for twice as much. And when the person says that's too much, you say, well, that's how I value me. If you value me differently, that's okay.
Mhm.
I value myself higher.
Mhm.
And I'm not. That's not in contradiction to anything else that exists. It's just I have this value of myself. I value myself like that. Now you value me less than that and are not prepared to pay me so much. That's okay. I can live with that. I can live with the fact you value me less than I value me. That's okay. I don't have a problem with that. Because I'm not I'm not here to create a problem. And the other thing is that we have these crazy things called borders, and you jump over the border and suddenly you're worth more or less. Same job, right? It's all about perceptions of value.
Mhm.
No, I perceive myself as a person who brings value. Therefore I want this much. And I think there's nothing wrong with stating that a person perceives that they're worth that much that much in value. So doesn't mean the person has to accept it at the end of the day. And I don't think you're pricing yourself out of the market when you are prepared to accept what other people give you and state that you'd like more. I think that's okay. So it's it's interesting. People don't. Possibility is everywhere. It's just not explored by people enough. I had to explain to somebody yesterday that Facebook Live is actually live. Like I'm saying Facebook Live, and they're like, yeah, but that's recorded. And then I'm like, no, it's live. It goes out in real time, and then later people can watch what you did live, but the live is actually out in real time. And they're like, oh. And this person works in marketing, right? So everyone's it's little bubbles. Everyone's an expert in their own little world, but you only progress. It's a safe place. It's a safe place, but you only really progress when you pop the bubble
Go out.
and see what exists outside of that. It's we're limited by the perception of what it is that we do. Here's an example that I use in business. Hallmark cards now have one of the most successful television franchises in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, from a card company.
From a card company. So they started as a card company. Okay.
Yeah, but they didn't.
They also
they didn't.
This TV channel full of romantic movies, right? Kind of.
Yep.
And the cards are also kind of like sweet stuff.
Yeah, and from time to time I watch one of those movies. It's very easy. It's not a deep topic. It's and I watch it from. No, I don't just watch the film to watch the film. I'm sort of always analyzing like camera angles and how the actors react to each other and how they set up stuff and the colors that they use and everything like that. So I just sort of use it as an opportunity to learn about things that work and things that don't work. And we forget that certain the crazy world of endless possibilities that things that certain types of jobs exist. Like I was at a business showcase. I think maybe I told you this. There were different companies presenting their work there, and one of the new companies there was a hair extension technician training company. This is a woman who has a business training people what to do with hair extensions, and she travels the country and she makes a lot of money. Another business was dog coats, little coats for dogs. Potential. Potential to make £1 million a year just doing that. Another company was socks, just selling socks. Socks. Yeah. So there's endless opportunities. Like sometimes I like to watch Christmas films with my family and my kids, and it's just a way to relax together. And so I went online and I Googled new Christmas films December, to see what films, and it's I found one website that listed the new Christmas films produced in the last 2 months. There were 91 Christmas films.
What?
Yep.
That's so many.
Yep, 91 Christmas films released between the 1st of November and the 31st of December on American television. And of course, after it's been on TV, you can download it. Yeah. So on the different channels. So Christmas films is actually an industry. Christmas films. Just making Christmas films is an industry. Is an industry, and I that kind of thing fascinates me. I'm like, wow, because there's a little bit of me that's a dreamer, which is imagining that the impossible can be possible. A little bit of me is a dreamer, and the dreamer part of me is like, wouldn't it be great just to make Christmas films? I just thought, wouldn't it be like it's also great to make socks that make people feel comfortable and happy, right? It's also good to do that. It's great to make coats for dogs, because the owner is happy and the dog is happy and things. So really interesting. So yeah, possibilities. Yeah, I'm amazed at the endless elements of possibility and creativity from the traditional right through to the futuristic. Yeah, it's there's nothing. You see, when you realize there is nothing but creativity, that's the truth. When you realize there is absolutely nothing but creativity, then you're not limited in the content that you're able to create for your business or even for your life, because you live in a state of understanding that documenting what is happening is there's like some kind of fire coming or something. Oh, it's an ambulance. There we go. Ambulance.
It was quite loud.
It was.
And you're in sync.
People are mad here in this part of the world. Actually, look at this. Very beautiful out there. Look at that. So I'll just stop you for a second. The sun is casting this light through the clouds down onto the beach, and the beach is like this golden sand, and then there's a mirror of small waves hitting the beach, and it's nice. And all there's grass that's frosted because it's like -3, -4. It's frosted, like looking out that direction. Everything is this sort of pale blue or brown or golden color to it. It's very nice. Anyway, it's those great contradictions. I mean, I just talked about the holistic principle of the contradictions, that at this time of year, when the days are the darkest, like it's dark for done like 15 hours a day, right? Here, when there is light, the light is so bright and so pure and so strong that that's quite incredible, you know. So that's the way of, I think, of, you know, looking at light, looking at life. Sorry, is that you get the brightest lights occur in the darkest rooms, right? So it's just the way that we live. The people who help people the most are the people who have been through the biggest struggles themselves, and it just makes perfect sense, because the people who haven't been through the struggles don't have the experience to understand the struggles. They don't. They don't. The person who does anybody have it easy? I don't think so. You know, we've all got the challenges that we face within our own mind, and those and we need them, and we need them to progress. So one of the